Today, we spend one day with a visionary leader in healthcare and innovation. Dr. Kris See is a neurosurgeon-trained physician, clinical scientist, humanitarian advocate, and adjunct professor. Dr. Kris See currently serves as the medical director and chief clinical and innovative scientist at OSEL Group, with operations spanning Malaysia, Hong Kong, Singapore, and the United States. More than just a medical expert, Dr. Kris See is a global thinker and committed humanitarian with a strong desire to invest and contribute to the development of Timor-Leste, especially in strengthening the national health system and addressing public health issues. In this episode, Dr. Kris See is also sharing his insight about the future of Timor-Leste in the regional context, particularly the strategic opportunities awaiting the country as it prepares to become an official member of ASEAN. Join us, we explore his day, his vision, and his mission to make healthcare more innovative, accessible, and human-centered in Timor-Leste and beyond.
Hello, Dr. Kris. Thank you for taking this time with us with Invest People. This is I think it's a special episode of one of our program of our podcast, named One Day with the CEO. Normally we do for the Timorese and all foreigners invested in here already. Because we'd like to show them that for the audience and even people from abroad, that Timor has lots of opportunity. If they here for such a long time, it's because that beyond all the adversities they still in, it's because this is something that you could consider to invest. So thank you so much for coming to Timor-Leste first as part of the Malaysian delegation to Timor-Leste. I don't know, and then maybe you can explore this later. But please introduce yourself first, your background, what business you are in, so we can listen a bit of your experience and share to Timorese. Business or not business, everyone definitely are very curious about this entrance to ASEAN and who are the key players. Yeah. And would like to listen from those one already playing in the market, ASEAN market. So please feel free to introduce yourself and then a bit of your businesses.
Thank you, and thank you for having me, Carmen. And this is my maiden trip to ASEAN, to Timor-Leste, and I'm a medical doctor, and I'm currently based in Malaysia. My background is in neurosurgery, brain surgery, and I have a strong interest in primary care, community health, public health systems, and how do we build systems in underserved regions. I have been practicing clinician and doctor for the past 16 years, and I'm also an elected ASEAN fellow in 11 countries, and Malaysia just started a direct flight with Timor-Leste, and I was also invited to be on the maiden flight, and I must congratulate you for this is a beautiful country with immense potential.
Thank you. We are really honored to have all of you. And then, can you please? This is your background as a person, as a professional, and then particularly in those so critical areas that Timor will need. Definitely, this community health, brain surgery, or something. Those things are really, really critical in Timor. But I'd like to know a bit more about your dedication in terms of business career, how a doctor became a businessman. I don't know. you still holding as a doctor or not? How you conciliated these two professionalism? I don't know how you can divide it if you're still on as a doctor. Please tell me how this entrepreneurship came to your life, and talk a bit of your transition to a businessman, if you still as a doctor or not, exercising the doctor activities or not.
Absolutely. I am still a doctor. You know, I still think like a doctor, right? And so my journey in entrepreneurship was born out of necessity. So after I get qualified, so I work in various many both public and private hospitals, and I have witnessed firsthand how healthcare system has a lot of room to improve, especially for healthcare equity and accessibility. And I was born in Malaysia, but I grew up in Singapore. I was educated in Europe, and I spent some time in United States of America. So I look at healthcare from a very diverse, different healthcare system, and how each system is best served for each community. So that was when I founded OSEL Group. Now, OSEL Group is a group of companies that is essentially a healthcare and education organization. We are also very committed to community health and to build community healthcare systems across ASEAN and across Southeast Asia. And today I'm very happy to say that we have been building so many successful systems across the region, not just in Malaysia, but also our presence is in Singapore, is in Thailand, is in Japan, Hong Kong, US. So and I think that Timor-Leste, being a very young nation and very young country, the average age of the country is probably just under 22 years old. This is a country with a strong focus in building the nation and in the future. Now, having said that, is that healthcare is a necessity. It's
basic, critical.
Yes, it is, and we think healthcare is a human right thing, right? So that was really the reason why I'm here in Timor-Leste, to see how we can be supportive and to really play a part in helping the Timorese people in building up the country.
So your business is a kind of a consultancy that you support to build the system, or you are related to building in a hospital or a clinic? Can you just be more specific?
Yes.
Because in fact in Timor, one of the critical issues is the health. As a
That's
citizen,
right.
I'm saying,
That's right.
as I said to you, that's why I want to interview you. Is in fact, health is one of the big issues in Timor, and how we can help Timor, bringing your knowledge, bringing your whatever you've been in such a different areas from the globe, how you can support Timor in terms of a health system.
Sure. So OSEL Group, really our interest is in the whole supply chain of healthcare. So we build medical centers, we build hospitals, and not only that, we are also into laboratory testing. We are also into medical devices. So it is not, and we are also into nutraceutical, pharmaceutical. So it is not just about treatment, it's also producing the things that is needed for treatment. So we, my whole group of doctors and me, it is run by medical doctors, but it is also, we know that not just medical thinking is needed, you also need to be able to scale it, also need to be able to sustain it. So there is an element of sustainability into our whole business. So healthcare is a need, like we just discussed, is a need all around globally, right? And the past few days I've been here speaking to people like yourself and other counterparts of mine, and just meeting the ex-Director General of Timor-Leste, and to find out on the ground what is the challenges of the Timorese people. And I think that there is a lot of work that needs to be done in this area.
Yeah.
You know,
Sector.
That's right.
Health sector is really critical.
That's right, and that is the area which we are committed, and that we are able to. In my past experience, true solutions must come from a listening ear. What do I mean by that? It is not just me or foreign experts like me coming in to tell and to advise the Timorese people what to do. It's really actually to listen to the Timorese people and to be core partners in creating health. So we could create a solution just by understanding the problem instead of me telling you what to do. You know, so because each culture is different, each history is different. So we must be able to engage the people on the ground, not just the policy stakeholders, but also people on the ground, the people that is executing and operating day in and day out. And I think that this is the area where me and my colleagues can come in to really advise and to really work together with the local partners. How do we create long-term solutions? And I think co-creation is going to be a better outcome than any singularity, you know, any single sort of advice. Yeah, so that is where we are coming from. You know, and I think the Timorese people are resilient. I think they are strong. I think they have the capacity and the fortitude to be able to build out the nation and the healthcare system of their own. All we need to do is to render them some sort of direction and some sort of cooperation. I think they are able to build this nation up on their own.
Yes. I know, Doctor. Yesterday we've been talking on our table, and then you had some experience before, similarity with Timor-Leste. I would like you to share this story, and is something that can be applied in Timor. I don't know, maybe can you just give this case? I think it's really interesting in a way, because sometimes the system is so how can I say, so vast in terms of challenge, you don't know where to start.
That's right, yeah.
You understand? So can you just give one experience that you passed through, and then something that you can be considered for Timor-Leste? I don't know, this is something that or I don't know, can you just share your experience?
So I've been leading medical missions to various parts of the world, underserved regions, you know. So we've been to the Rohingya refugees in Myanmar, Sitwa. I personally have been always been going to Nepal many years ago, you know, and at the time our idea was to try to render whatever help we can to the local communities. And my experience in Nepal has been life transforming for me. Now why is that? Is it all started when we went to Nepal probably 12 years ago, and we tried to render any help that we can to the local people. And this went on for several years. And then it was on an occasion where I just asked the Nepali people, so what do you want? And the Nepali people tell us that they want to be able to help themselves. They are capable of helping themselves. All they need is enablers for us to give them the chance to teach them what to do and to advise them what to do so that they can help themselves. So that was actually a life transforming sort of moment for me. And that was when we started actually a free medical clinic there, and because of that we start to train the local students in medicine. So we actually train them, and gradually they become doctors. And over the years, we have trained many people. And
you train professionals already?
Yes,
like
yes. So we send them to medical school. We fund their education.
You send to Malaysia? Or?
No, in Nepal.
In Nepal.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bring your your medical.
So we bring the expertise
team,
and also we actually fund them for
you
their
build up the local capacity.
That's right, and we actually fund them
that's
for their
big.
education, you know, and gradually over the years, some of them graduated and they became doctors, you know, of their own, and they start to treat their own people. So from a very humble little medical clinic, it has now become a community hospital where the local people, the local Nepali, actually help themselves, you know. And Nepal was never part of ASEAN, you know, so they did not have the access to all these resources. It was just out of humanistic reason that we did that. And it's been 14 years, and today the hospital is running on its own, and they are treating their own people, and it is a self-sustaining model, you know. So that was what I think that it is very likely applicable to even to the Timorese people, you know. I think what we really need to do is really to give them the opportunity, the access to education, the access to training, so that they are able to become skilled workers, they are able to help their own people and to build the nation from ground up.
Okay, thank you. It looks like I'm jumping around, but because you didn't listen yet, your transition as a doctor to a businessman, a successful businessman in Malaysia. So I like to know how it has been, this transition. And I'm sorry to cut you, but it's like sometimes it's something that in Timor we are it's so critical that I just came in. But please, going back to my previous question, how I know that this happened after you're already a successful businessman. How come a doctor became a businessman? What has been your journey?
So I think first and foremost, I don't think I'm successful.
You must be successful.
Well, I think that there's no the best version of yourself. There's only the better version of yourself. So in my company, we always think about getting better, growing more, and becoming even better. So I think I mean humbly, I don't think that I'm successful, but a lot of things that we did have turned out to be very successful. And like I said earlier, that I did not envision that all these are entrepreneurship. It was really born out of necessity. So I understood that there were some gaps in healthcare where it is not being fulfilled. And me being idealistic when I was younger, I think that there are many ways that we can improve the system, that means to make healthcare more accessible, more affordable, and better outcomes. So it was from there that I always call myself a reluctant entrepreneur. So I was working in all these hospitals, in both public hospitals and private hospitals, and I couldn't find something that could solve the problem. And that was when I decided reluctantly to found my organization. And with God's grace, over the years, we have managed to create very good positive results with our partners, within our company, with our own medical team, and also with our research team. And I think that has been probably, I'm not so sure if you call that successful, but I think that is probably the ingredients of our success. Is always focus on the people, always focus on bringing up their potential, and always believing in them. That means to upskill them, to give them the tools that they can empower them, and to give them the necessary tools and training so that they can do a better jobs. Now my company values is, in short, we call it PICC. So passion, integrity, courage, and compassion. Now we realized over the years, the past 14 years, that without passion, very little can be achieved. Because especially in healthcare, there are many times when you are working so hard and you are losing the battle against disease. But being passionate about uplifting people's life, empowering the community, is one of the things that bring us forward. And of course, integrity, courage, and compassion is much needed in creating social change. So to create social change, first and foremost, the company must change, and the company people must be willing to change. And it was not easy. How do we create a shift in mindset? But I must say, I was very fortunate, because I'm blessed with a team of very competent people, and we have been working very hard, and they have been, without me saying much, they have been willing to uplift themselves. So I think the secret of being successful is really about the people. Yeah, they are the ones that is creating lasting, meaningful change.
Yes, definitely. I totally agree, because we are invest people, so
Right.
we also focus in people, and then we think that this is the key for any problem for a nation or for organization. Yes, your focus as a business is education or the service, the health service?
Both. So we are essentially a healthcare and education organization. So we have an institute that is called the Frontier Medicine Institute, where we empower frontier medicine, that means new age medicine, into the current mainstream. Now, healthcare and healthcare services has been evolving rapidly. And the sort of medical service we are doing now is very different from 10 years ago, and it will be even different 10 years later. Now, so with the introduction of digital technology, like what we are doing now, right? This has the capability of reaching the masses. So healthcare is powered by technology, is definitely going to transform people's life. And this is when our education body is doing a lot of work in digital healthcare transformation, both within our organization and also with our partners, with governments, companies, and even communities at large. This is where we are committed to build systems to bring up about digital healthcare transformation. Now, in the Timorese context,
it's a bit difficult to...
well, yes, it might be difficult now,
Yeah.
but a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, right? And I think that with the young population, and that Timor-Leste is also one of the highest fertility, with the highest fertility in Southeast Asia. And I think you have a very young population, and these people are willing, they are curious, they are inquisitive, and they are also more digitally able. And this is the best chance for us to introduce these kind of things to the system.
Yeah, I'm saying that because Timor-Leste, in terms of technology, because of we still have some challenge in terms of, I don't know, you've been in our districts, not yet, maybe 1.5 days. I don't know how long you've been here, maybe 3 days, not enough time. But you went to Venilale.
Oh yes, just today I was out the outskirts. Yeah.
But that means that sometimes the technology is not reaching out
That's
there.
right. Yes.
Our people is not really used to the technologies. So in Timor-Leste, maybe we need to reconsider some kind of advancement in technology, but the really knowledge in terms of medical things, yeah. But this is only my opinion. I think, of course, you, if interested, of course, you'll come back and then, of course, read out by yourself what kind of intervention you're going to do here. Now back into more or less to our topic in terms of business. This podcast is also to emphasize this curiosity, how Timor-Leste is going to be prepared for the ASEAN. And my question is that as a new country coming to be a member of a big market as ASEAN, and you has been there for such a long time, more than 20 years.
Yes.
So how was the difficulties before when you start your business? Maybe we can like already prepare ourselves. So at the beginning it's like that. So I know that your company start a bit after the ASEAN to be ASEAN member or one of the founders. So how was that time for you as a young doctor and then become an entrepreneur? What are the main challenge and how did you overcome those?
Yes, so to give us a little bit of context about the history of ASEAN, so ASEAN was first set up by 10 member states, which include Malaysia as one of the founding members. That was back in August 1967. So that's probably a good 40 years ago. And I'm very happy for Timor-Leste that you'll be inducted as a newest member of ASEAN, and congratulations to you. And because this also promise bigger market access and bigger flow of knowledge and trading.
That's right.
Right. So it hasn't been easy. ASEAN is a very diverse region with each country having its own language, its own culture. So it has been traditionally very challenging, but we have grown so much since the founding days until today. I myself is an ASEAN fellow, and I have take part in ASEAN meetings, meeting my counterparts, speaking about this issue that ASEAN is facing. And this year Malaysia is the chair for ASEAN. It's a rotating chair. Yeah, but this year Malaysia is the chair. And just a few weeks ago we have concluded the ASEAN summit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And my idea about ASEAN is nothing but confidence and also resilience. ASEAN member, including Timor-Leste.
And also, second word?
Resilient.
Resilience.
Yeah. So it is one for all and all for one. Now, for Timor-Leste to get prepared to be inducted into ASEAN, I think businesses, individual needs to start to get prepared in 3 areas. First thing, in its law, because ASEAN has specific laws about how we do things, right? So Timor-Leste needs to reform its legal process. Second would be in its social aspects.
To adjust to ASEAN market.
That's right, to ASEAN market.
Situation.
So three areas. So legally, socially would be how we get ready the market in Timor-Leste to build, to grow its skilled workers, to impart the right knowledge so that we can uplift the people, right? Now, the third very important thing would be in the economic aspect. So how ASEAN do businesses, how do we engage each other within ASEAN, intra-ASEAN, right? So I think these 3 aspects is something that probably for the start, the Timorese people and the Timorese business entity could start to engage, like how we are doing now, like by us, the delegate, visiting Timor-Leste. We have already started the engagement process. And let us just hope that this process will not end here, but you would be followed through even after this visit, follow through follow-up meetings, follow through communication and connection. So I think it is something that right now the Timor-Leste and its people can start to get prepared in these 3 areas. That's legally, socially, and economically.
Yeah. My concern is, I think it's all Timorese concern, is in regards to manpower. I don't know when ASEAN went through this process. How was the beginning? Did it because it looks like suddenly no frontiers, no border, and then our fears is that, oh, now everyone is coming, taking our jobs or something like that. Yes, just those things.
Yes.
And even companies coming because they have better conditions, they will monopolize all the things and suddenly, I don't know how was in Malaysia when suddenly no border and then you are 10 countries in working the same space. How was that? How was that feeling? In reality, it happened that suddenly people from other countries coming to yours and taking your place. I don't know, I'm trying to like do it really bad scenario, but I don't know. Can you just share your experience since you are a young entrepreneur? Did you feel that? Did you feel that impact from other countries coming, or is an opportunity for you? I don't know. How was your experience when it's all transformation about only one country and suddenly a big family of 10?
Speaking as a Malaysian with some knowledge about the workings of Malaysia in ASEAN, and also as an ASEAN fellow, I can tell you these are unnecessary fears, because what happened to Malaysia was immediate transformation. So nobody took our jobs. In fact, it gave us more opportunities, more connectivity with the outside world.
Yes.
And this has successfully elevated business people's revenue, business people accessibility to other markets that previously you would not have the opportunity to access, right? So on the contrary of fear, I think the Timorese people should be excited about this opportunity, because Timorese are such vibrant and young population, and the world out there is very different. So I think we, instead of being fearful, which is unnecessary. I understand why they are feeling that, because of the unknown, but I am here to assure them that in the ASEAN framework, there is about collaboration, not competition. So, like I said earlier, co-creation value would always be better than single
initiative.
Yeah, single initiative, right? So we should be thinking about how we should all collaborate within ASEAN. So ASEAN as a whole is able to compete with international powers. With our history, our language, our youth, and also our resources and resilience, we are able to compete with, for example, with EU. We are able to compete with other powers. So instead of being afraid, I think that the Timorese people should seize the chance to immediately uplift themselves. For example, I understand that the official language in Timor-Leste is Portuguese. It is good, but maybe it is time to start learning English, right?
Well, here English is really with it. Yes.
To be able to communicate with other countries in ASEAN, because Portuguese is not an official language within within the community. But similarly, for other ASEAN countries, they could also start to learn Portuguese, right? To be able to communicate with the Timorese. So I see a lot of co-creation value rather than people taking away people's job. No, I think that
rather than competition.
No,
it's more collaboration.
Just like me coming here, I'm not here to take over the hospital or anything. No, I'm here to impart knowledge, to make sure that hopefully that whatever contribution I get, the Timorese healthcare will be elevated. Because all of us is better than any one of us.
Yes.
So that is actually the core founding principle of One ASEAN. So we welcome Timor-Leste with open arms, and the Timorese people should also be excited about such opportunity, and to reach out to any of the ASEAN countries. We would be more than willing to render our assistance.
Okay, thank you. I think for your business right now, that that you are in a stage that you want to grow. Yes. Sure, for your business, what is your vision for 20 years 20 is too long, maybe 10 or 5, if Timor-Leste is included in your vision for your businesses.
So
after this visit, I don't know how it's already, but
right. So
because you've been in several places,
That's
or
right.
just in Malaysia?
No, we're in Singapore, we're in Japan, we're in Thailand.
So you have business
That's
branch
right.
in all
Yeah,
these
all
areas.
over,
How
yeah.
many countries already?
7 countries.
7
Yes,
countries.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, you can vision Timor-Leste in your big economic group. I don't know. This is an economic group.
Yes. So yes, one of our companies is actually in investment fund company where we invest in underserved region, and we are value investors. So we look at certain value, and if we can transform the community, we invest in it. Now, it's a very good question, and this is something that within our company we talk about it all the time. Now, basically, our 10-year vision in OSEL Group is to become a trusted development partner across ASEAN and beyond. Not just in ASEAN, but even beyond ASEAN.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that we want to be known as an organization, even though it's a private organization. We want to be known that we are a dynamic, vibrant, and also we are resilient to be able to help countries to build system to transform its community. And at OSEL Group, like I said earlier, our core values is PICC, passion, integrity, courage, and compassion.
Yeah.
And we aim to expand our footprint in healthcare, especially in integrated care. So not just healthcare, but in integrated care, including training, empowering local leaders, and scaling digital healthcare platform. In remote areas and in rural areas especially. And all this we hope to be able to do while staying to our core values of equity and sustainability. So that is our 10 years vision. And yes, Timor-Leste is definitely in our mind, because I think it's a beautiful country with beautiful people and very unique culture and very unique history. I think Timor-Leste youth and vibrancy has its position and has its place in ASEAN.
Yes. Well, I think I'm really happy if you like putting this as your possible adventure in Timor, because as a citizen we really need a different system in terms of health. Lots of issues. So for me, it's a great news, and I hope they can come.
And for us too, it's good news for us too.
So let's back to the Timor-Leste being prepared. What do you think the Timor-Leste business need to be? What factors they need to consider when they got into the ASEAN? What kind of essential factors that we need to consider to get in? Right now, we don't know how is the market.
Right.
So what as a private sector or even the authority we need to prepare to
I
play
think
in this big family?
yes, I think Timor-Leste has very unique culture and heritage, right? Just like other countries, and they also have very interesting natural assets. I think whether is it in agriculture, whether is it in tourism, or like I visited some market where the ladies are weaving,
the ties.
The ties,
traditional cloth,
right,
ties.
right.
Yeah.
So these are artisanal craft. I think if the business could promote maybe perhaps some ethical value and some authenticity, and ethical value in these products, sustainability, traceability, and a strong story behind them. I think these are very powerful differentiators in the ASEAN market.
Wow.
Because no place can you find this except in Timor-Leste, right? Now, of course, coming into a market like ASEAN, there are challenges and risks. And I think one of the key challenge will be, from what I see, there is very limited infrastructure at the moment, in Timor-Leste. But it's also good to see that there are a lot of construction ongoing. Actively the government is trying to build up the country. Another key challenge will be the lack of market intelligence. So
what that means?
So before we go to a new country, we will be doing a feasibility study, right? To understand the market and all that. So for the Timor-Leste people, maybe this is something that it might be a little bit lacking in them. So, but it's not a problem. They can always leverage on embassies, on the government to provide them some insights on how to do business, for example, in Malaysia or in Singapore, right? And so promoting market intelligence will be something crucial for the Timor-Leste businesses. And last but not least, I'll be in my view, will be the scaling capacity. So how can
mass production somehow?
Yes, how do the business actually scale up? So how does the Timorese businesses, how do they scale up within ASEAN? So for example, if you mentioned about the weaving touch, the touch, right? How do you, like right now, if a touch business is selling 100 touch, for example, a month in Timor-Leste, after they join ASEAN, what if there is demand for 2,000 in a day or in a month?
Yes.
How do they scale it up? So this is something that they must get ready.
Okay.
So
attention, yes, scaling.
they must get ready, right? And because nowhere else in the world except here they can get it. And I can assure you that the whole ASEAN is a very vibrant and very youthful market. People like to see new things with a powerful story. And Timor-Leste has been through very unique sort of transition until it is today. This story will be very appealing to a 600 over million population in ASEAN.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
So this will be something that they must start to think about it.
The uniqueness.
The uniqueness,
and then the story behind the uniqueness.
That's right. So to prepare for all this, you'll be a lot of training needs to be done. Businesses need to start adopt digital platforms like this thing that you are doing, podcast. This is amazing. People all around the world would know that the Timorese people are interested to do business. They are interested to become better. They want to showcase what they have to the world. And this is very important,
Yes.
So without digital technology, previously it is impossible to know, right?
Yeah.
So last but not least, I will be appealing to the Timorese businesses. Try to go out, not just in Timor-Leste, but try to go out of the country, take part in expo, exhibition in various parts of the world, in everywhere. Let people know that what Timor-Leste has to offer. So not just the government doing it, but the local entrepreneurs, the business owners, they must take the initiative. Now, what I always think is that what makes somebody a true and good entrepreneur is that they must lead social change. And money is a byproduct. Not just to go out and earn money, but to go out and lead social change.
To the impact first,
Yes.
and then the money will come definitely.
And money is a byproduct. and
Yes.
once you reach there, you have earned your money, please give back to your society. Please give back and rebuild Timor-Leste together. So I am very confident that very near in the near future, the country with the youthful population, they are able to build a vibrant and successful society.
Is there any pitfalls in that? Because this is, as you said, is an uncertain for us. Yes. Since that you're already there, you're playing the game. For the new entrants, those one that's coming in, what possible pitfalls that you can find? In a way, Timorese can be prepared to, and how to overcome them.
Sure. So, like all new entry into a new market, pitfalls are definitely there, but it is not something that is.
Can you give names like
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
what that means?
So I'm going on to that. Right?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that it's not something that should deter on businesses or entrepreneurs, rather work around it. Now, one of the things I think in my mind, it will be local regulation. For example, for Timorese people, if you want to do business in Malaysia, they must start to understand.
Be aware of
the laws, the laws and regulation.
The law is not the same for everyone. Like
No, it is
since you're
not.
applying.
Yeah. Well, so there is general law and there's local country law.
Okay.
For example, the laws in Thailand of doing business and taxation might be different from Malaysia. So
Okay.
it is very important to find out the laws,
Okay.
right? That's one. Now, second would be overextending financially. So it will be investing over investment. So for new businesses, when you do not have a budget, so budgeting and constraint is very important. So to limit your budget. So I've seen firsthand many businesses when they enter a new market, they over invest without understanding the
market.
The market.
Yeah,
that is
yes.
when things happen,
Yeah.
right? So we don't want that. And so for Timorese businesses, think about all this when they want to enter a new market. What would they do? Have their business plan ready, know that how much they can go, before they stop a little bit and all that. So don't overextend financially. Now,
Anything else? Or?
Yes, the last which I think is the most important will be cultural expectation.
Yes.
For example, if I may, in certain parts of Indonesia, I understand that Timor-Leste is largely Catholics, but Indonesia is largely an Islamic country. So cultural sensitivity is very important, right? So I think these are very important for them to understand how to do business in various different countries. So
can you give us some curiosity in terms of cultural?
Yes.
Doing business with Malaysia, or you've been in your experience,
Yes.
and then you've been succeed or not succeed, you learn with the learn with the experience. Can you just tell us this cultural difference in terms of business perspective, how it can impact our business?
Yes, for example, for example in Malaysia, Malaysia has Islamic laws, right? And so usually the Muslim they would have their Friday prayers on Friday, but in Timor-Leste you are Catholics, you have your mass on Sunday morning.
On Sunday,
right? So for example, if just with that, if you do a business in Malaysia and you expect your Muslim employee, for example your Muslim staff, to work when they are supposed to be going for Friday prayers, that would be a clash of culture.
Okay.
You see, so that would be so the sensitivity needs to be studied and also be understood. Similarly, when Malaysian businesses, when they come to Timor-Leste, they must understand that many of them are Catholics. They have their for example,
we have Friday like holidays in the middle.
Yes.
Of a week,
like
sometimes,
and I understand that crocodile is a sacred animal here.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So for example, if they are some businesses might be trying to sell crocodile-made handbags in Timor-Leste, which is not very sensitive to the culture, right? So that would.
Is our grandpa.
Yes, you understand? So
will be an offense.
Yes. So these are the cultural sensitivity that is very important, yet not many people take into account, right? So I would appeal to maybe the listeners and all that. So if you decide what you want to do, these three things, so don't overextend financially, cultural sensitivity, and also make sure you know the market before you go in. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Now regarding opportunities, yes. What opportunities that you think that Timor-Leste can find in Asian market?
I think sky is your
not
limit.
Not only come, but we also want to show to our private sector that it can go beyond, yes, because it's an open market, so it can play in the biggest market. So what is the trend right now in terms of economics? What are the possibilities, particularly for the Timorese, considering whatever we have already? So what do you think is the opportunity in Asia for Timor-Leste?
I think there's so much opportunity for you, and I'm so happy for you, From what I see, first and foremost, fisheries, seafood, right? I mean, fisheries, the fishing sector can be improved, and you can sell your seafood and your fisheries to all around the world. It is something that, because Delhi is a coastal city, it's just beside the coast. So fishing is something that you can actually upgrade yourself with better machinery, better boats. You can even go for deep sea fishing. So fishery is a very good field that you can consider.
Timor-Leste, this industry, we don't touch yet. I don't know why. But is Malaysia is a fishery expertise in that area? Maybe can support us in some way. Because Malaysia, we don't explore. I know that now everyone is blue economics. We need to protect, but we have a really great potential as economic economy to base on. But we're not really I don't know why.
That's why I'm saying, from
we are island, but we're not really going to the sea. Yes, I don't know. Is any possibility that you see? I don't know if Malaysia is also related to industry of fishing or whatever.
Yes, Malaysia is actually quite. We have quite a strong export for seafood and fishery. And I think this is one part of the how ASEAN, being a member of ASEAN, Malaysia can impart our expertise. We can share how we do it with Timor-Leste. But you see, this is an untapped market for you. For and you just
for
say
Timor to go and explore.
You see, it has something that nobody has done. So that is one, right? Second will be that I see will be sustainable agriculture. Agriculture, Timor-Leste, somehow, from what I heard from the local people, a lot of your things are imported. Right, but I've seen that you are filled with so many lands, fertile lands. I think to build your agriculture is key, and it's something that you can do and you can export actually. For example, today I went to a farm that grow vanilla, and of course coffee. Premium
vanilla.
Exactly. Yes, so there is premium vanilla and there's coffee. Coffee has been here for a long time. You can actually grow your sustainable agriculture, right? Now, the third would be, I think, ecotourism. You see, so the whole ASEAN is going towards a sustainability transformation progress, and ecotourism and green tourism for a country like Timor-Leste, I think that's an opportunity. Somebody should take the chance and to really grow this field, right? The fourth thing will be education services. So being a young population, I think education is much needed. Besides healthcare, education is key. Education is also something that somebody in the country can consider to do, private education, which is crucial. And last but not least, being a geographical location, Timor-Leste is near to Darwin, Australia, is beside Indonesia, and now with the direct flight from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, I think Timor-Leste can take advantage of this to be a regional supply chain hub. So shipping companies can come here. I know I don't see that many big ships, but this is something that the government and local entrepreneurs, you can think about it. Shipping is key.
We have a new brand port.
You see?
Port, but without shipping.
Right. But I think
so maybe this can be another area to explore as well, beyond fishery, beyond agriculture, beyond all the uniqueness that you talk with these trees. Exactly. And then
so it's filled with opportunities for you, But of course there are many other ways, not just the big businesses, like small medium industries, small medium businesses, things like we just say like things like artisan craft and all this. These are the things that the world or ASEAN at least, would be interested to buy from Timor-Leste.
Yeah.
You know.
Great to know. For those one, for instance, Timor-Leste, for the new entrepreneurs that want to expand, like they want to expand their business to ASEAN, what advice you give to them?
This is a very important question. You know, I'm so happy that you asked. I think if I were to share with them my experience over the years, you'll be forwards. Start locally, think regionally. What do I mean by that? You'll be to build a solid foundation right now, right here at home in Timor-Leste, with clear values, clear propositions, and also a clear results. Once they have achieved that, do regional. So start locally, think regionally. You know, make use of the resources that maybe the current government of Timor-Leste will be giving to young entrepreneurs. It could be taxation, rebate, it could be knowledge empowerment. Make use of the chance to build up their own business, solidify their position right here in Timor-Leste, and use that as a springboard to go regional in ASEAN. So start locally, think regionally.
Think regionally. That's a good one. And maybe one of the last questions is that you've been touched like areas of opportunities here in Timor, down there, but and then all the conversation is for the Timorese. Now I'd like you to give an advice maybe for the investors coming to Timor. What kind of advice? I know they've been here just for a few days,
Sure.
but I hope this is enough for you to have already an opinion about Timor. And what kind of investment that you think that is more applicable for Timor-Leste as investors coming from abroad to Timor?
So I think I've been here for the past 3 days. I think 3 days is not enough to understand the local culture, but I have a personal opinion and I have some personal ideas about this. I think for international investor who wants to come to Timor, they must come with an idea of value investing. Not just here to do business for money, but really here to help the Timorese people in co-creating values to help the country on its own. What do I mean by that is that there must be an element of trying to empower the Timorese people for them to build the nation on their own. Now, in the byproduct, it will be
with the social responsibility of supporting the,
That's right.
the nation building.
That's right.
It's not like pure investment.
It's not just trading. I buy and you sell.
Buy
you know,
and receive.
I think with that would be something that I think if the business people could be thinking of that, then I think core shared value, core creation value, will be more sustainable and it will be lasting. All right. So I mean, last but not least, I will appeal to the international crowd that I think the Timorese people, Timor-Leste as a country, being the youngest, one of the youngest nation in this part of the world, having a very youthful population with a high fertility rate. I think this is an area where international community can look at the Pacific region, and Timor-Leste plays a pivotal role in this part of the world. So I have nothing but confidence and also optimism for how the next 10 years, how Timor-Leste is going to be built up. And I want to congratulate all of you for doing the groundwork. You know, it is the most difficult, but it is very important.
Okay, thank you. Now it's coming up another question. I don't mind. What do you think is the role of Timor-Leste? What is the Timor-Leste uniqueness to ASEAN? What do you think about it?
I think Timor-Leste, with its unique cultural and heritage and history, Timor-Leste is a young country, but this region is not young. it has been around for a long time.
Ancestors, yes.
You know,
500.
since
500 years.
exactly.
More than 500
You know,
years.
so with
Story.
his history and what he has gone through, I think Timor-Leste people brought with them, and the government, the Timor-Leste government, bring with them a history of resilience, a history of cooperation, and a cultural uniqueness to ASEAN by being one of the Portuguese-speaking country that has a strong European roots even till now. I think this will be something that is very interesting to bring ASEAN and perhaps Europe closer through the Timor-Leste involvement.
Yeah.
So this will be the
With
first
the CPLP.
exactly, you know. So this will be the first time in history that ASEAN and EU maybe has a very vague connection through the involvement of Timor-Leste, and of course not to mention other parts. You know, like Timor-Leste is so near to Australia, and that will be very interesting. By being part of ASEAN, that we can build a closer collaboration with Australia, maybe, and Timor-Leste, like I said, is maybe the gateway to the Pacific. And no other country is near the Pacific as at Timor-Leste, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I think these are all the various geographical links, uniqueness, cultural uniqueness, heritage uniqueness that Timor-Leste can bring to the table,
ASEAN,
to ASEAN, right?
You yesterday you talked about the BRICS, the
Oh, yeah.
country. Yeah, that's how.
Right,
Let me
yeah.
see how Timor-Leste can, through Brazil, Brazil and all the.
Yes.
Yes, it's a big market. Yes.
Yes,
Timor-Leste
so-
can bring all this add value to ASEAN.
So BRICS is another entity besides ASEAN,
Yeah.
right? So Malaysia is also trying to gain membership into BRICS also. Now
It's already in or no? It's just
so I think it's already halfway in.
Halfway.
Halfway in already.
Yeah.
So you see, Timor-Leste, being a Portuguese-speaking nation, and we all know that Brazil is also part of BRICS.
Yeah.
So it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, right? BRICS. So Timor-Leste actually can also consider to be part of that coalition, right? Because all this is trying to foster peace, trades, and also collaboration. So Timor-Leste, the more friends that it fosters, the more coalition that it builds, the better it is for the Timorese people. So besides ASEAN, there is so many other entities like BRICS and others, right? So this will be something that is very interesting, I think, for the Timor-Leste people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And be part of ASEAN. ASEAN can take advantage of all
Exactly.
these connections.
Yes.
Okay. To finalize, 3 words that you would like to say to Timor-Leste, authority or private sector, when they get into ASEAN.
I would think it will be first, partnership. Second, long-term vision. And third thing would be adaptability. So I think Timor-Leste entry into ASEAN is a momentous occasion and decision of the coalition, and Timor-Leste government and the Timorese people should embrace it with ambition, not fear. You know, it is a good thing that is happening for the country, and let us embrace it, but embrace it, but with preparation and with humility. You know, being one of the younger state, inside there will be a lot of things, a lot of learning curve, which I'm very confident that the Timorese people has already started to do it. So to embrace it with ambition, not just ambition, but also with preparation and humility. And to build bridges with the rest of ASEAN, build collaboration, but remain agile, remain flexible. And always focus on sustainable growth. Not just earning money and that's it,
Yes.
but sustainable growth. And in the end, make sure that it does elevate its people. Any growth and money that the businesses earn, it must translate to helping the Timorese people. So partnership, long-term vision, and adaptability. That would be the three words that I wish to share. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kris,
Thank
for
you,
your
thank you.
insight. It's such inspirational for us. I hope that definitely will help all the audience to understand a bit of ASEAN, your experience, your vision through this short interview, but I think it's really, really insightful and inspirational. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.